Hey everyone, my name is Alex and I'm the owner of Immerse Recordings, a record label focusing on melodic house and techno started in February 2019. And today in this video, we're going to talk about custom conversion advertisements for real Spotify playlist followers. If you're a label, an artist, or just a curator who wants to get into the advertising space and generate real followers for your Spotify playlist, this is the place to go. Now, in this video, I'm gonna assume that you are familiar with what a Facebook pixel is. Now, if you don't know what that is and need help setting it up, go down to the description below and check out videos from marketing guru Andrew Southworth, and he'll help you get started on your Facebook pixel before watching this video. I'm going to reference Andrew Southworth a little bit in this video since I learned a lot from him and got most of the information from this video from him and doing custom conversions myself. Now, we're going to be breaking this video up into different sections, so if you miss any part of the following sections, you can go back to them with the timestamps. Now, I'm going to answer as many questions about the topics that I'm covering in this video in the comments down below, so please feel free to ask questions after watching the video. If you do have any really direct questions or want to work one-on-one with me, please go to the description below and join the Immerse Recordings Discord and then ask any questions you like, and I'm there most of the day during the weekdays. Let me show you an ad that's in my ad space right now, so you get an idea of what we're going to build in the next couple sections of the video. It's just a 15-second advertisement that plays a 15-second clip of a song from our catalog with a little bit of text that says exclusive melodic house and techno playlist now on Spotify, and it links you, when you click it, to this landing page. It has 3 stores: Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. I've optimized the advertisement for people to click the listen link on the Spotify section, and if you click it, it goes automatically to the playlist so people can listen immediately. Now that you understand what we're going to be building in the next couple of sections, first and foremost, you need to find a link service that you're going to use to create a landing page similar to the one on the screen here. Now, I have 3 recommendations. In this video, we're going to be talking about found.ee. It costs about $15 a month for their premium service. I believe they have a free service, but there are certain optimization techniques that are only available under their $15 a month service. The other 2 that I recommend are ToneDen and Linkfire. ToneDen is absolutely 100% free. They do have a paid service that allows you to do pre-save campaigns, but creating smart links is 100% free, and I highly recommend checking it out for their unlock things. So if you have a song that you're looking to create a free download for and you want to have them follow your Spotify playlist in exchange for downloading your song, then this one is the best one for those types of services. Linkfire is another one that you can use, but this one is a little bit more expensive, and big labels use this one. It's about $100 a month to allow custom integrations in there. You can only add Facebook pixels in for that $100 a month, and that's a little bit expensive, so I highly recommend just focusing on either found.ed or ToneDen. And in this video, as I mentioned before, we're going to be talking about found.ee. Now, the goal of our ad is to convert people from the ad all the way to Spotify and the playlist. What we need to do is to create those custom events and conversions so that our ad is optimized for those specific events and not just random clicking of buttons. Now, we're here in the event manager, which is important, so where you can create different types of custom events. Now on the screen here, I have quite a few custom conversions that I've already made for different ads that are already running. What we need to do is to propagate certain events that happen when you click that landing page and when you click those buttons. So we need to go into data sources. You can see on the data sources page, which is the overview section, that you have a bunch of different events. And these are what we're going to create when we set up the specific link that we want to custom convert. Let's go into test events. And you're going to see the test browser events. And we're going to plug in that link right here. And you're going to click open website. You're going to click open website, and you now are here. Now let's click the listen button. Let's go back to the events manager tab, and now you're going to see these events. These are events that Facebook recognizes when you have clicked links on the landing page after being sent by the advertisement. Some of the events include page view, which means that you've clicked all the way through and you've gone and clicked Spotify. Music retailer, this is specific to found.ee. This is a custom conversion event from just found.ee, where it says the retailer, which is the Spotify link that you've clicked, and it says that retailer is Spotify. Also, they have the page view. If you're just looking for people to the page, or you've set up the link where it's just music.immersedrecordings.com using the found.ee service, and you're just redirecting them to a page and not a landing page. So that would be a custom conversion that you would create for just the link, just going straight to a link instead of a landing page. Now you have all this information in there, and now you need to go back into custom conversions tab. Now, one thing to note is that these custom conversions that we just propagated from clicking of the links in the test section take time before we can be using them in the custom conversion section. What that means is you're going to be spending time waiting for it. It could be up to 10 minutes. It could be up to a day for those things to propagate. This is just the way the Facebook ad space works, and I believe that the ad space does this to minimize the amount of spam bots and people using the ad space. But we have these things already in the system, so we're going to just go ahead and create a custom conversion. So go to the button, create custom conversion. You're going to name your conversion. Let's just call it music, which is just part of the music.immersedrecordings.com. And then you're going to do is say, let's say Spotify followers. We're going to go down to the data source. You're just going to click Alexander Punja's Pixel, which is my name, and you're going to do a conversion event. So you're going to find that propagation, and we're going to click music retailer. Now that's the optimization event for clicking that specific retailer. It doesn't, now if you just say create, you're just going to be optimizing for anybody to click any of the 3 links. What we need to do is create a rule. And this is a rule where it's going to optimize for a specific link and not just all 3 in a row. So we're going to go in and call event parameters. And this is specific to found.ee. If you want information on ToneDen and Linkfire, link down below to the video from Andrew Southworth where he talks about ToneDen. So we're going to click here and go retailer name, which is part of the music retailer event. And it contains, we're just going to go down and type in Spotify. Click tab, Spotify, and then click create. Now it says to use this custom conversion event for website ad campaigns set up to share data using aggregated event measurement. And this is an important thing, and Andrew Southworth is much more qualified to talk about this, but the Apple iOS 14 update has forced people on the ad space to connect their domains for using custom conversions. You have to connect your domain, and you now have to also aggregate event measurement. So what we need to do is go into configure, go into the immersedrecordings.com one, which is where I've connected my domain. You need to do that. There's a link. I'll leave a link down below on how to do that. You need to set up your domain, and it probably costs about $12 a year to have a domain. And if you're spending money on advertisements, then you definitely can spend money on a domain. But that is something necessary for creating these custom conversions. And then you go into manage events, and then you are able to add in that specific conversion that you just made and put it in here. You can click it and put it in there. And this is essential. This is something that was not, if you're doing conversions last year, you would not have needed to be doing this. But they force now users of the ad space to take that conversion and have it connected to a specific domain. Now, I don't understand why this is happening or what this is happening, or why Facebook and the iOS 14 update is screwing people over. But, this is just the way things are right now. One thing to note, and a lot of Redditors are really upset about this, is that you can only have 8 specific conversion events connected to one specific domain. It's really annoying. If you did see a minute ago, when I went to manage events, it said impacted ads and ad sets will be paused and some may no longer run. Because if you add more than 8 or try to edit after adding 8 of them, you're going to have your system completely bugged and stop running, and it will take 72 hours for you to start editing your event connected to that domain. Andrew Southworth, as I mentioned before, is much more qualified to talk about this, so link in the description below to why iOS 14 is screwing us up. But now you have that custom conversion. You've created custom conversions for different events, which you can do for Spotify, YouTube followers, or anything. Now it's time to go into the next section. All right, we're now in the audience tab. This is an important step after creating your custom conversion event, because this is going to tell the algorithm where to place your ad. We're going to go into the left and create audience. We're going to go and create a saved audience so that you can save this and use it within your ad space. Saved audience. Let's call this Spotify followers expensive. Now I'll explain that in a second. Why should you have it called expensive? There should be 2 different audiences, essentially, that you're going to use in 2 different ad sets. Expensive and cheap. Expensive are the countries like Canada, United States, France, United Kingdom, Italy, and Spain. All the very economically developed countries. And these are more expensive to target to because not everybody in these areas are looking at Instagram all the time, and there aren't any bots or link algorithms just automatically clicking links left and right. Let's start off with the locations. So as I said, this is the expensive one, so you should be entering in countries such as France, United Kingdom, and so forth and so forth. I'm not going to give you a specific list of countries to look at, because you should be able to figure this out and figure out which ones you should be targeting to, and every single playlist is different, such as a drum code type playlist or a Amelie Lens playlist should focus on the Germanic countries, Germany, Belgium, the Netherlands, etc., etc. Down below, you're going to see age. You should definitely be putting this to 18 to 55 so that your audience is narrowed and the algorithm is able to target not too wide of an audience. Down here is the detailed targeting. So this is the type of people that you want to target. So we're going to add a couple of artists that are similar to the people in your Spotify playlist. So for me, I would say Rufus Du Sol, Armin van Buuren, and I would add a couple of genres as well, such as deep house, etc., etc. And you can target this and add whatever you want to add in there for your optimization. But what you need to do now, since you are converting for Spotify followers, is to click the narrow audience button. The narrow audience button is now going to tell the algorithm that, oh, this person is an Armin van Buuren fan, but he has to also be a Spotify listener. It's an and conversion, so that you're not just generating leads to an Armin van Buuren random fan, you're generating leads to an Armin van Buuren and Spotify listener, so that you are now optimizing for people that listen to Spotify and those interests. We go back to the top to the potential audience, so we can check what kind of audience we have, and the potential reach here is about 1.2 million people, and that sounds about right, because we want to narrow that audience down to about 1 million to anywhere between 9 and 1 million, so that the algorithm is not generating leads for too wide of an audience, and it can optimize perfectly. And you can check the audience details for any mistakes that you may have made, and just go back down and double check and verify that. And then after this, if you're following along, you should now make your cheap audience with countries like India, Argentina, and so forth. I will caution you about that cheap audience because it is very inexpensive to target those countries, because those are less economically developed countries, and they use link farms and bots to target these types of ads and click them and just generate fake leads. Most of the people that are going to click that aren't going to be necessarily repeat listeners to your playlist, so do pay attention to that and try not to optimize too much to the cheap section. All right, since you've had your audience created, your two audiences, expensive and cheap, created, you need to go into the ads manager section of the ad space. This is where you're going to create ads, and this is the one section that you should be absolutely memorized from top down bottom. What we're going to do is create advertisement. It's going to show you the choose a campaign objective. The only thing that we're going to focus on is conversions. I'm going to leave a link down below that describes all the other conversion click links here, but we only are concerned with conversions. We're going to click that, and on the bottom it wants us to name your campaign. Let's call this followers conversion. This is the campaign name, and I highly recommend that if you create any more Spotify follow campaigns and ads, just put them under the campaign as new ad sets. Let's call this June month, since it is June when I'm making this video. And just name the ad the same thing. June month, just call it followers. And then click continue. Now this is the campaign top. We're just gonna leave this alone because this is just perfect as it is. We're going to go into the ad space, the ad set. The ad set is where we're going to define the audience and put the conversion event that we're looking to do. And I already set up my conversion event before this video was started, so let's do the music retailer. I'm just going to click that right there. And then what you're going to do is come down to the daily budget. And so this is the budget, how much money you're going to spend. I technically like to just do $10 a day because I don't really want to spend a lot of money. And also, a lot of you guys probably don't have very much money to spend. And you can start scheduling the date. And then you can put an end date. But I usually just like to keep this on and then turn it on and off whenever I need to do that. So putting an end date really isn't necessary unless you only want to do it for a little bit of time and forget about it and have it just end and see the end result. Here is where you're going to click your audience and add your audience in, and you're going to go use saved audience. We're going to go into and put in let's do the cheap one, the cheap one that I've made, just so you can see what it's like. The audience definition over here is going to automatically update with the amount of people that we're going to reach and show that our audience is fairly broad. Okay, that is totally fine. That is exactly what we need. Estimated daily results are the estimated results that you're going to get from people, from the algorithm, showing people the ad. It says that a reach is going to be around anywhere between 3.9 thousand to 11,000. That's totally fine. That's great. And then the number of conversions is going to happen during a specific day. Any day would be between 12 and 34, which is totally fine. I think that's perfectly fine for the amount of money that we do. And if you wanted to, you could add more money in, let's say $50, and then the reach and the conversions are going to drastically improve. But I think that $10 a day is totally fine. And honestly, if once you've got your ad going for a couple of days, it might not even use that $10 every single day, and you'll have some left over for the next day. Here down below, we got placements. And now this is where on the website, Facebook and Instagram, you're going to be placing it. I highly recommend never using automatic placements because that's not really recommended. So you're going to use manual placements. And now a lot of people say to just stay with stories. I disagree. So what we're going to do is we're going to just unclick all of these because we do not need in-stream or apps and sites or any of those other things, and just keep it to the feeds. Let's get rid of the right column one because that one is not necessary. Your estimated daily results are going to update as well, and they're just going to stay pretty much the same. The reason that I say that you should do stories and feeds is because even though stories are not as propagated and not as overly saturated, you're still going to need that feeds to be able to generate those types of reaches and conversions. Now, if I got rid of the feeds, the amount of conversions are going to go down. You're not going to reach as many people. You're not going to get a lot of conversions. So I highly recommend just leaving in that and deleting the Facebook right column and just leaving it like that so that you can generate all those conversions in one. Now that you've done that, you can go to next. You don't need to worry about optimization and delivery because it will just automatically do the cost control. And if you want information on cost control, you can go down to the link in the description below for information on that. Now we're going to go into the actual advertisement. Now we're going to click the Instagram account, immerse recordings, and what you're going to do is do not do a dynamic formats in creative because that's not necessary to understand or do. And then you're going to click on single image or video. So we're going to go into the ad creative now and just add the media, and we're going to go add video. And I already added the upload of the video, so I'm going to click the recommends picture here, and then we're going to click done. And then what I'm going to do, since this is a video optimized for the stories, I'm going to go in here and crop it and do automatic 1:1 and click save. And then I'm going to go crop and then do automatic 1:1, and this should not be really much of a concern if it doesn't look that great because the stories one doesn't really, because the post one doesn't really matter. This is the section where you're going to put text, and I highly recommend putting text or at least describing what you're going to be sending people to for the post section. Primary text should be here. Follow the exclusive melodic house and techno playlist featuring certain artists via my label name, and there you go. And it will just show right here and there. It will not show on the stories one because you have not told the stories one to have the primary text in there. So that is that, and you're done with putting the media up into the sections that you are going to be doing. Website URL https://music.immersedrecordings.com/releases. And now that should update automatically in some of the places. Just give it a second. And yep, and it should show down there the name of the link and all that there. The call to action is important because you want people to know what you're going for. So click listen now. All right, you have now clicked the listen now section, and that should be pretty much it. If you've done everything correctly from here on out, you should be able to just click the publish section and you should be publishing. But let me just show you what happens after publishing, because I'm not going to publish that once it's a test advertisement. Go back to the campaign section, and I'm going to show you my playlist fans conversion monthly one. And you're going to see information like this. You're going to see information that says results, reach, impressions, and cost per result. And honestly, just once it's approved for distribution, you should be able to see the learning section. So it's going to be learning where it's going to be putting the advertisement. And it'll take about a day or two for it to exit the learning process. Usually it says about 50 conversions recommended for that specific event, but it usually takes about a day or two for that to occur, and then it will be propagating and showing regular data for the campaign. All right, that's the end of the video. If you have any questions, I know I do ramble on a little bit in the video, but if you have any questions, please, as I said before, just comment down below with any questions you got. Go into the link in the description for the Discord link so you can ask me direct questions and work with me one-on-one on your conversion campaigns. Well, that's it. My name is Alex, the owner of Immerse Recordings, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do leave a like, and I'll see you later.